parents. As a parent myself, I'd like to share with you one very precious lesson that I've learned. That is, tough times don't last, but tough people do. As we go through our parenting journey, as long as our intention is right, we know that the outcome can be positive and successful. Why is it so? Because I believe that we are the champions in our life. I am grateful that I am the champion of my life. I have gone through a very difficult time. As a result, I become more matured. I have grown because of this trial. And I believe that as a parent, you have the resources to become champion in your life. And I hope that my story can really inspire you to be that champion in your life. My story begins in the year 2005 when Carissa was found pregnant. And when we know that she was pregnant, it was really a surprise to us because we've been trying for a third child for 3 years and it did not happen. So when we know that Carissa was pregnant, we were just simply overjoyed. And when the pregnancy progressed until her 5th month, in one of the scanning by the gynae actually told us one thing that really surprised us. What was that? She told us that Ariel, which is our 3rd child, is suspected to have Down syndrome. And we wasn't prepared for that when the gynae told us. And we were very doubtful and we asked the gynae, was it really true? I mean, how could that be possible? And the gynae told us that the only way to confirm it is that she needs to go for an advanced test. And after thinking for a while, we decided not to. Why? First of all, it is very costly. But secondly, because we are Christian, we believe that even we found out that the baby was Down syndrome, we would never abort the child. So because of that, we find that there's really no point for us to go for this advanced test. The only way to confirm that the child was born normal was only on the day of delivery. So the next 4 months of the pregnancy was really full of anxiety, anxiousness, uncertainty, because we do not know what to expect. We do not know what kind of baby that God will bless us with. And so finally, on the day when Carissa was warded for the delivery, the gynae came out and told us that your child was born normal. So when the gynae told us, we were just so overjoyed. We were so happy that God has blessed us with such a normal, healthy child. And we were just very thankful to God when that happened. But we did not know. We thought that this first ordeal was ended. But never did we realize that we have another second ordeal. That second ordeal happened when Ariel was about 70 days old. Because our friend told us that, hey, I think your baby, how come your baby was getting more and more yellow? We were very concerned. So we brought Ariel to see a pediatrician when Ariel was about 70 days old. And on the day of visit, we were taken aback. The pediatrician told us that Ariel was born with a rare form of liver disease. She was born with biliary atresia, meaning the absence of bile duct, and it only happened in 1 in 10,000 baby. In other words, in the entire Singapore, only 4 cases per year will have this kind of rare form of disease. And within 5 days of this discovery, everyone need to go for a major operation. I still remember on the day of surgery, when I was holding Ariel, I was so sad. Because I do not know I will see Ariel again. I still remember that it was a really difficult time for us. Why? Because my first daughter is really studying primary school P1, and I have to fresh. I have to travel from hospital all the way to her school at about 6:30 to pick up from school. And after picking up from school, obviously there was no one at home to take care of her. And I have to bring her all the way from school to the hospital to stay with the mommy and the baby until about midnight. Then I bring her back home and to rest and the days just continue like that for a few days and that is our life because mommy was busy taking care of Ariel in the hospital and my eldest is has to go to school during that time. So when that happened, we just feel that the whole thing was crazy. I mean, how do we how can we cope with taking care of the baby in the hospital at the same time, sending our eldest child to school and bring her back? And that was the time that we decided that we need an extra pair of hands. And we sell our flat, our new flat in Sembawang, and then we moved to stay with my mother-in-law. So the first thing that we did was really to sell our flat because we need an extra pair of hands. And then the second thing that happened to me was that my job was affected. The whole episode because of many times I need to stay in and out of hospital and usually I cannot control what is going to happen. It affected my job greatly, and so much so that I received an SMS, from my leader that I was removed from my job. And to me, it was so ridiculous that I was removed from my job through an SMS, and that was a surprise to me, but I accept it because I really couldn't be productive in my work. I had to spend a lot of time at home, in the hospital. And I could say this, I could even tell you that the hospital is my second home. Because I spend so much time in the hospital that I can even tell you where is the cheapest coffee you can find in the hospital. And the third thing that really concern us, of course, is the medical bills. I mean, I can tell you that these medical bills can make into two books, right? It's one, you can see that the bills is a lot, and I mean, we didn't earn a lot, as in our income was not very high, but we are very thankful to God and to our friends that during these very difficult moments, where our friends, our family members, they give to support us and to help us in our medical costs. So we are really thankful that somehow with good family support, with friends, we are able to pull through, especially to meet our financial needs. It was in one of the checkups that the doctor told us that we need to seriously consider liver transplant for Ariel, because that was the last opportunity for her to have a liver transplant. There was a time that we began to prepare Carissa to be living donor because they share the same blood type as Ariel. And during that whole preparation, we were just working very hard to bring the cholesterol level of Carissa down. And as we were preparing that, suddenly we discovered that Carissa was pregnant with the fourth child. We was taken aback. We wasn't prepared. We thought that, well, Carissa is supposed to be a living donor. She's the only one who can save Ariel. So when that happened, we were just like, how could that be? It is almost impossible for Carissa to get pregnant at this period of time. So when that happened, we would just pray and ask God what was really going on. And when Carissa went for the checkup by the gynae, we were really hoping that the baby gender was a boy. and not a girl, so that it will not be a replacement for Ariel. And to our surprise, that the gender was girl. So at the back of mind was just thinking that could it be a replacement? That because God is going to take Ariel away, that's why He blessed us with a fourth child. We do not know, but we were scared. We were just like lost about what we're going to do next. And when Ariel was moving towards the end stage of her life, when she was about 3 years old, that's when she had a lot of complications. She started to pass out black stool because of internal bleeding. She vomited fresh blood at home a few times. And when that happened, I had to call the ambulance and bring her to the hospital. And when I was carrying her in my arms, rushing along the corridor, and when she was vomiting blood on the corridor, and when I was in the ambulance, I was just thinking that, God, is it the time that you're going to take her away? And it was just so difficult for us to see her suffering like that. And I still remember that particular Friday that she was discharged from the hospital. Again, she was admitted because of all the complications. And when she was out of that hospital at home, I gathered my wife, I gathered all my children together. And we knelt down and prayed to God and asked God that, God, Ariel is your child. Ariel is your baby. You have given us Ariel, and she is suffering. We have done our best. We need to know what to do. We surrender her to you. But if you think that is the best time to end her suffering here, you take her living with you. We are willing. We are willing to commit. We are willing to surrender her to you, because we know that she is in the best hand. She is with you. So at that time, the whole family, we knelt down, we prayed to God. And we cried like we never cried before. And after that, we experienced the peace that God will take care of her. The next day, we received a phone call from the hospital that there was a possible liver transplant from her. So when I received a call from the hospital, I really couldn't believe that it's happening. That there was a liver transplant from Ariel. And we pick up we just rush out the hospital the next day, and just to admit her and get her ready for the liver transplant. And we were very encouraged that while they push out to the operating theater, the nurse and the doctor, whether they are Chinese, Malay, and Indian, they told us that they were praying for Ariel. We are just very encouraged and touched by the gestures. And finally, after the midnight, Ariel went through the liver transplant. And after the surgery, the past 14 days was really difficult. Why? Because they had to monitor her blood test. If the blood test result was good, it means that the operation was successful. So the next 14 days, the blood test result were up and down. Now emotion went up and down. And it was only finally after 1 month of staying in the hospital, the Ariel condition was stabilized, and she was ready to be discharged from the hospital. And we are just so happy when that happened. We couldn't believe that this thing happened, and we are just so happy that that after this 1 month of stay in the hospital, Ariel is healthy enough to be discharged from the hospital. And right now, Ariel is a lively, happy child. And we are very grateful to God to see her so happy, so joyful. And if I don't tell you that she has a liver transplant, I don't think you will know that she has a liver transplant. And each time to see her able to study, to able to interact with the child, to other people, to our friends, it brings us such a great joy and comfort. And I believe that one day, God is going to use a story, right, to encourage many others. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is that, hey, parents, no matter how difficult the journey is, if you believe in yourself, if you believe in God, miracles will happen to you. And that's why I'm sharing this story with you, and to encourage you, to give you the message of hope and love, that no matter how challenging your situation is, just believe in God, just believe in yourself, that you have the resources, you have the people around you to support you, right, to overcome whatever obstacle that you face, whatever hardship that you may face right now. And I hope that my story will empower you to be a happy and effective parents. Thank you for listening to my story. Thank you. I'm grateful that in this parenting journey, even though I walk through many obstacles, I can still be a champion in my life. Always have faith in yourself and in God that miracles will happen. As a parent of 4 kids, I deeply understand the challenges of parenting today. I will guide you to have faith as well as bravery of a warrior, and at the same time pull down the armor so that you can enjoy the growing up of your little ones.